if you compare the enthusiasm of the Hungarian minority, 200,000 for us is important, in the Ukraine this is very small. But if you compare, so they were very proactive during the Orange revolution. But today we can feel that they are not so enthusiastic. They are very pro-European. They would like to see Ukraine in the EU. But after the victory of the Maidan, a new anti-Hungarian rally was organized in the city of with the Hungarian majority by the party of Sloboda. So once again, we are supporting 100% Ukrainian aspirations, but we have a minority. And we must there if they ask for it. So that is more or less I don't know what will be the future of the Ukraine. There are plans of kind of federalization, decentralization, also for the Hungarian minority. These are good messages. But when I have a discussion, debate with my Ukrainian colleague here in Sofia, I try to explain to him that we ask authority, and we cannot accept that we cannot ask for their rights. There is a context that if we have the right to vote in the Russian, we cannot do that. So that's not the minority rights plays a part here. But once again, never Hungarian politician said that these regions Mr. Zhirinovsky. Okay. Disadvantages of the EU. To be honest, no. We didn't have too much disadvantage. Sorry, of the NATO. You see? Okay. NATO. EU is a bit more complicated situation sometimes, but we didn't have disadvantage. So we have never been so secure than now. We had political advantages. You know, it's not a disadvantage. Yes, we sent soldiers in Afghanistan, to Kosovo, Bosnia, but it's interesting. It wasn't. So the Hungarian public opinion wasn't against this. About 1,000 Hungarian soldiers, but the Hungarian public opinion wasn't against. Military budget, which is always difficult, unfortunately, because crisis, deficit, and so and so. So we have to get some money from somewhere else. But you know, so if we want to be a member of NATO, we have to. We have this obligation that I mentioned. But NATO membership wasn't negative. A more complex debate can be EU. I would say, unfortunately, even in Hungary, you have a stronger EU skepticism. I've never heard to mention that something against NATO. So I can recommend it. Okay, the question of Macedonia. The question of Macedonia. How to be diplomatic.
I think it's realistic.
Realistic, yes. I think that, look, I don't want to deny that there are some tendencies in Macedonia which are not good, and Macedonia must work. I like just to tell you that the lack of enlargement or the lack of integration can lead to destabilization. And the Western Balkans is not a finished story. Because we have so not recognized by several EU member countries. We have Bosnia and Herzegovina. Please don't ask me till when the Nato treaty will work, because it will be very difficult to respond to you. You can see. And also in Macedonia, new tensions can reappear. So even ethnic, according to Nato. And I will not say that, we have NATO member countries which we have accepted, and the situation of their democracy can be compared also with Macedonia. Just not to be too diplomat, too hypocrite. Okay, so just to make it this clear. On the other hand, I know very well that the Macedonians must also wish the integration period. And it's the political, they have to finish in a way with their debate with Greece and Bulgaria. I think that in medium term, the actual situation is not good, neither for Macedonia, neither for its neighbors, and neither for Europe. That is what I can say. I don't want to write Greece or Macedonia in the question of the name. And sometimes I think that the Macedonian-Bulgarian debates, misunderstandings, or you can call them all you want, are deeper than the Macedonian Greek one. The Macedonian Greek one can be solved easier than the Macedonian Bulgarian. This is my personal opinion. In Bulgaria. Just to make the situation more complicated, and just imagine when I have to explain in my ministry will and who was co-chair. What I think. Yeah, but you know, in Wikipedia there is a Bulgarian version and Macedonian. You know, okay. I once tried to. First, but it's not a good situation for anyone. That is what I and I don't know what will be the outcome. It's an important question because, of course, is ready. Not impressionable. Very nice to be careful. To this green. And just remember, don't about Eastern Partnership. Be careful about it. Only some people in Brussels, only East European countries, and Sweden, that's all. And look what happened then. And now we are not paying attention to the Western Balkans. I hope it won't be the same mistake that we have committed concerning Eastern Europe. The main priorities second, yes, we must give I think that two priorities. You wanted,
yes.
yeah.
Maybe we can name issue between Greece and Pyro, but it's much wider and much both for Bulgaria and Greece. So at least the name issue. The name is just simple, a name issue. Like I we're going to call it Nova Macedonia or Macedonia or Slav Macedonia. It's much more wider and complicated. Like it's the Lugato, Essential Lugato.
I understand the background of the name issue. I understand it. But you know, between Bulgaria and Macedonia, it's a deep identity question.
For us too, though.
Yes. Okay.
I would also like,
because then they claim they have Macedonian minority in Greece, so it becomes an identity issue for us. What's a Macedonian minority? Like, don't understand that in Greece. You see?
Okay.
I would also like to clarify the historic persons that you mentioned. There is we share with Republic of the worldview of who they were, of their identity, and there's the official Macedonian view of their identity. Those are the two views.
I cannot enter into these details. I cannot enter into the I don't want but Western Europe politicians do not understand look, very big country in sphere, and once I had to, just to give you an example, so why I mentioned Gotsudachan and Sarsanguru, because here the political debates are about more also about these questions. But you know, me as a Hungarian diplomat, once we had to explain to very high-ranking American officials that they asked me when the way to India, and why do we have there a minority of 2 million persons? I'm just giving the Hungarian diplomat. You know, we have 3 million Hungarians in the neighborhood. But situation where somebody, so they know about the Greek Macedonian debates because it's all. And Greece is an elder EU member country, NATO member country. And now they suddenly, last year they had to, what's that? Let's see, what are they? Who's that guy? Why is this important? And they don't understand it. I'm just telling you what is my feeling. But this is the task of the Macedonian and Bulgarian diplomacy to explain their own point of view. But I hope that sooner or later the solution for this debate because the actual system. My country, Hungary, is neighboring the Balkans. We are very much interested in the stability of the Balkans. It's a question of security policy, a question of trade, a question of investment. We are very big investors in Macedonia. We are important investors in Bulgaria, Serbia, Kosovo, and so on. So that is on the political why Hungary wants, for instance, to see Macedonia in NATO. Okay, we know the reality. There are political realities. We are not pressuring anybody. We are not putting any pressure. We are just saying our and we hope that is the official is and it's in their map membership. Because of the Russian factor, because of the fifth article, but you know it's very bad to say somebody you cannot come because of Russians. I'm coming from a country, Hungary. You know the story, probably you know the story of 1956. And we know very well what it means that, sorry guys, we cannot help you. You are in the Russian interests. Absolutely, but we cannot help you. So I would be ashamed if having my Georgian friends. So you are good, you are a good country, you are an important country, you, are you fulfill the criteria. Sorry, the realities. But at this moment, in NATO, we are minority. We are minority. That's a problem.
Yeah. Another question about cooperation between Bulgaria and Hungary within the frameworks of the NATO. Me myself, I have embassy in Bulgaria, and as Hungarian defense policymakers or experts could cooperate with their Bulgarian counterparts. What do you think? What are the options? What are the opportunities?
Oh, well, you said that you like to support the minority of the Hungarian in the Ukraine. And how does should the support look like, and why it's for you allowed to support a minority in the Ukraine and for other countries it's not allowed to support?
Which is not allowed.
Well, there's another country that would like to support their minority in the Ukraine, and then the Western say to Russia that's not the best idea to support them. So what's the difference?
Okay. Look, minority rights are not equal to military aggression. So, in the case of the Ukraine, we are not witnessing. We are not witnessing. Support for the Russian minority rights in Europe. And it's an aggression and sovereignty right. It was interesting to hear one of the Russian argumentations. We are in the Crimea happened what happened in Kosovo. We cannot accept that because it's not true.
Yeah.
It is not. I hope that here everybody agrees on that, because Ukrainians were not killing the Russians. There was not ethnic cleansing of Russians, and so on. So the situation is totally different. And their right to fight for the Russian minorities. They have. So this is something different. And I, as a Hungarian diplomat, probably all the countries which have their minorities in the Ukraine, Romanians, Bulgarians, Hungarians, we agree that we have the right to ask for minority rights. No one question the territorial sovereignty of Ukraine and the European law of the Ukraine. So that, just not to well, Peter, you know, first of all, when I speak to military attaché or former Bulgarian military attachés of Sofia, so they have a big nostalgia, you know, because we had big armies, a lot of cooperation, Warsaw Pact. They visited each other twice a month. There were delegations. There was so big cooperation. There was very big cooperation. Unfortunately, and we must be honest, some segments, it's very difficult to find a real cooperation between Hungary and Bulgaria in the actual situation of our army, in the actual situation of the budget, of our defense budget. That's a big problem. You know, at the airport, military airport of there are countries which have airplanes transporting troops. Area easy. This is one thing. Second, it's interesting now with all this Ukrainian crisis. Me as an ambassador, everybody has a lot of work to do together and sharing because it's a security policy issue. But technically speaking, there is a very few that we can cooperate actually, unfortunately. And this is due to the situation of our defense budget. We can cooperate politically, we cooperate in NATO, the Hungarian and the Bulgarian ambassador in Brussels are coordinating every week several issues. We are in a very, very similar situation than Bulgaria. We have a lot in common, but this is the political level. And also we were together in Afghanistan, so we can share some. And both of us, we must increase our budget. Yes?
I'm from Ukraine, so
Yes.
this is also I've got a question concerning my country. If there are any concrete certain steps might be taken in case of escalation of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, because all the time I hear about sanctions that might be imposed, but also at the same time I hear about the bad consequences for EU member countries and NATO countries, because Ukraine proved that our country is a reliable partner of the EU and an active contributor to global security. So I'm interested in certain steps measures.
Okay. I am not excluding finally we will reach economic embargo. There are some red lines. Yesterday, they were put on the table. Integrity of Ukraine, withdrawal of the Russian troops from the border, and recognizing the new recognizing their Ukrainian election. You know, grateful if will attack more openly you know, it's a big question why the Russians are doing what they are doing if they will not reach Transnistria. This is the strategical question in this situation. But because I don't want to answer. I'm honest. I don't want to. I don't know what to respond to you, but I'm not excluding economic. It will be very bad for some European countries. Among them mine, or it can be better. But we will see. Well, it depends on Washington. In Europe, it depends on 2 or 3 capitals. More or less, you know which they are. And it depends on Moscow. What can be very, very important is the new Ukrainian presidents will be able to consolidate the situation. That is what I can. I do not exclude economic environment.
Thank you.
Military army, you should ask other ambassadors. The Hungarian army will not help you in the situation.
As a continuation of the questions about Ukraine, but on a more pure NATO level, what is your opinion about the NATO-Russia Council, given the circumstances now? It could be revived, or it will remain inactive crisis?
Okay. Other questions?
Yeah. I just want to, sometimes it's being asked whether it's an European country or not. I just wanted to mention that, as you know, together with Moldova on 27th of June, we are signing association agreement with EU. And in the association agreement, in one of the chapters, which was open for some period, it is written that Georgia is a European country. So I think that it's enough in order to prove it. So in EU, they agree that Georgia is a European country. And just a small clarification, if I make, first of all, I would like to thank you, and we Georgians really appreciate Hungary's support. But Mr. Ambassador, you mentioned the map issue together with Article 5. I just wanted to make small clarification, if I may, that we Georgians are pushing for map for the World Summit, but some of the Western European countries say that if we will grant map to Georgia, it may undermine the credibility of Article 5. So I just wanted to make it clear that there is no political or legal connection between map and Article 5. So if Georgia is granted a map, and if something happens with Russia, I mean, Russia may be obliged on connection, which is not undermining the Article. Yeah. Thanks.
I'm just asking the organizer, do I have time?
We still have 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay, let's go.
Two brief questions. Could you elaborate the role of the NATO accession of Hungary for the EU membership? And the second question of NATO, or the future of NATO, not in terms of membership or new members, but in terms of the inner structure, the purposes, the role of NATO, also in relation to the EU.
Okay. Well, so NATO-Russia Council, after the crisis is over, I think that discussion with Russia will restart. You know, what was very interesting to reacted very quickly. So as an expert, or our experts, Hungarian experts, are saying that NATO reaction was faster and stronger than the EU reaction to the Ukrainian crisis, and that's good news. Going back to Georgia, yes, you are in European country. Just to give you an example, you know, sometimes when I can hear reasons why not more Montenegro, why not Georgia, you know, sometimes these are pretexts. So they want, so they have to find out something to say why not. You know, just to give you an example, a German colleague I had once a discussion, he told me that in Montenegro, the Russian influence is too big. And I should go to the Montenegrin sea coast and to see that there are a lot of Russian owners in summer on the beach. I was looking at him and thinking, okay, but you know, and why there are not Russians in London? There is today the most popular TV show in England is a reality show with Russian millionaires in London. They are watching that. That is the most popular TV show in London. There are no Russians in, I don't know, in the French Riviera, or in the Spanish Riviera, or in Greece, or in Cyprus, in Hungary, in Bulgaria. The Balaton now is living on Russians, the northeast part of the Balaton. And here the Bulgarian Black Sea. So, you know, so for your country, for Montenegro, for Macedonia, you need a political wish. That's all. And you know, fifth article, yes, it's very important. Everybody knows that Russians on the coast of Montenegro. But this is my point of view. EU-NATO relations. I think that common European defense policy is important, but for my country, NATO is in security policy is number one and will remain number one. For a very, very simple reason, the United States. That is also there must be. So Hungary is among those countries for which NATO is the number one warranty for. So I think that will be the case for watching at the defense budgets of the countries of the world. So they are very important. Yes? Okay, go ahead.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I'd like to ask about, as we all know, Russia itself is a federation. Sorry?
I didn't hear you.
I mean, Russia itself is a federation.
Yes.
And what do you think, how stable is it? I mean, Chechenistan, Pakistan, I mean, they all are strong warriors, and, as I think. So, what do you think about the future of Russia itself?
Okay. The visual defense force wondered by Romania your experience in this kind of. I think an endeavor of this sort has some future, possible future to be replicated here in the region.
Okay. And also, the Hungarian ambassador to speak about the future of Russia. It's interesting sometimes to understand the popularity of Putin in Russia. You know, in a way, or at least for short term, but he stabilized his country. I'm not long before the crisis of the Ukraine. Chechnya is the example. I'm not saying that the method is good, but it's a and you know, some people are arguing. You don't have to agree with them or to accept it. But some people are arguing that it's very difficult to keep together country by like Russia, other methods. It is important just we are making analysis. Or when some of our friends want to transport the Westminster type democracy to the whole region, why it doesn't work? Just for the analysis. Our standards in politics exist. Once again, Crimea, yes, Chechnya, that's their policy, that's the actual political reality. The big question is, for me, and I think for everybody, is that how Putin will be able to situation, and how long he will be able to hide big economic problems what this country have and will have. And you know, the Russian economy, from a technological point of view, it's in a very bad situation, and it will have an impact. The gas and the oil. So that is the big question, I think. Change their mentality. They were able always to suffer for their lands. And the problem is that some, also the Western Europeans, must understand this mentality, because sometimes also we as EU or NATO, that is why we are giving wrong answers. Important problems, because we don't understand the Russians. I don't know what will be the future of Russia or of Putin, but you know, it's a question of economics. Another example, the same situation is with China. These so weak countries that have this multi-ethnic country. Before Bulgaria and Poland. Okay, you know, before is an interesting question. It's very popular. The before cooperation. You know, and it's relatively successful. But for the next reasons. First of all, we don't have before center, we don't have before democracy. There are some people in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who deal with before. So it's not a, let's say, I will not mention them because I cannot criticize any international organizations. But here in Central and Eastern Europe, we have several organizations, and we are starting to grow and to democracy. So first of all, there is no bureaucracy in V4. V4 is practically a mechanism in 4 countries to speak about different issues. And it's also there is no enemy. Here, Hungary are small. Different things. Slovakia and Hungary are very interested in the support of Czech Republic, no, because they are not like. There are many who do not agree. We don't have a common opinion. V4 was also V4. V4 doesn't want to change the world. You know, at the very beginning, the main importance of the had some problem. But in the beginning, the Czech Republic and Slovakia should join NATO. Before beginning elections. Then we have joined, but now Slovakia together with to join. We don't want. We are making B4, B4 plus 5. There are all kinds of B4, but we are the Central Europe economically also common. That's why it is functional. In the Balkans, I don't know. Look, I cannot say yes or no. Sometimes there was this idea of Greek, Bulgarian, we also not so governments for plans. stability of the companies. But each of these kind of regional corporations, it depends on very much why they want it, which are the goals, and how. So,